Good evening, everyone. I hope you all had a wonderful day and that it's nice and calm heading into your evening and nighttime. I do love this time of year, especially fall back. Always a wonderful few days, even a week, that are kind of nice there for some people. Tonight's class is really focusing on the shift that we're going to be making in 2026 into that garden planner theme. And so we have our choices for what we're going to retitle this class. I don't want to add in a new one. They correspond too closely. Part of soil health is all the things that you do in your yard, in your garden. So we've covered that pretty intensively over this year, and I think we're ready to move on from that topic, right? So I have a vote from Kendez, Benny, and Vanessa, and I know what Tammy's vote is. I hope Jay is off of his work call. What do you think, Mom, for the choices here that are available? And you're muted, so you'll have to unmute.
3.5.
No, 2.5. Sorry.
Oh, I apologize.
No, that's fine. I like Plan Your Wild workshop.
All right, so Anita is also at B. And then Jay, can you unmute so that you can vote? Are you back? He said, I am. Hold on. I heard him from upstairs. He has to figure out the unmute. He said he tried to talk another time when I talked to him, and he just didn't quite get there in time. So
I also like the Plan Your Wild workshop.
Okay. All right. Well, if we pull up the actual vote post, let's see if it's still in our featured. Yes, it is here. We have D for Benny at hybrid planning session. And then Vanessa and Kendez are also at B. And Tammy didn't vote, but I know your answer, Tammy. You want to say it?
Oh, I thought I did vote. Yeah, Plan Your Wild workshop.
Right? And
Yeah.
I also like that one the best. So sorry, Benny, it looks like it's resoundingly B there. I hope you enjoy that title as well. But thank you guys. I thought they were all really good ideas. I went to Gemini, right? I get so tired by the time I can really delve in to Collectively Rewilding a lot of times that I go in there and I say, this is the type of thing that I'm doing, but I can't come up with any clever titles. Can you please provide a title selection or whatever with this many characters? And I've worked very closely with Gemini in all the things that I have done since that became, well, really with Bard and then into Gemini, right? And so I have built a lot of knowledge about what we do here as Collectively Rewilding into Gemini. And so I can just go in and say, okay, here's the basics, just take what we've talked about and go with that, right? And it really provides some beautiful pieces. And so when we're working with AI, there's always positives and negatives, right? And this is one that I think is a real positive because it takes all of that knowledge that we've dealt with. I mean, all of the different topics that I've worked on inside since it was Bard. And while it doesn't remember every specific conversation exactly, it just has a collective memory within the Gemini that I work with, and probably within all of its memory banks to some degree, right? I don't know how much separation there is between the overall learning that one of these LLMs or large language models, these AIs that we interact like that with, are utilizing in their overall pattern of storage, right? If you don't have the setting not to store your interactions, how much does that feed back into it? I don't know if we'll ever really know, but it's kind of an interesting thought process. However, I've always intended for Collectively Rewilding to be as available as possible to the public, right? I really want anybody that wants this information to be able to access it easily. And that's why we also added nonprofit elements, and this is now a public, free, open platform that anyone can join in the world. Of course, at the current time, we're primarily focused on the United States. It would be really neat to see more and more interaction. We have, I think it's from Canada as well as India. I can't remember right off the top of my head where the gentleman that recently joined is from, but I know it wasn't in the United States. And we have, no idea necessarily who some of these other folks that are here with us who don't interact in the classes are really where they're from if they don't put that in there, right? And we've grown so much since I did any kind of searching on that. I don't really know what our audience is actually like, right? In the overall geographical distribution. It would be interesting. And I wonder if Mighty Networks stores those kinds of insights. I'm going to have to look now that I've thought about it. That would be a really neat insight. That's what Mighty Networks provides. They call it Mighty Insights, and it's your stats and numbers, right, as they see it. I'm not the best at using that kind of information, but it can be really valuable within social media. And at some point, I'm probably going to have to either hire someone or learn how to make better use of those kinds of areas. I do not enjoy numbers, right? All right, so we have our new class title, and we can actually just go in and change it right now. That's one of the things that I really love about Mighty Networks. It's so easy to, and let me just get the post where I had it all typed up already. It will be a lot easier to pop into the area there. Okay, let's see, we just need this one. Okay. Plan Your Wild Workshop. And this needs to change here. So we'll take that out. And then we'll make a new image for the class and move forward with all of that. It should be really great to have it fit what we're doing in the overall theme for next year and probably the year after that as well, right? And so thank you guys for helping me with that. Now, Tammy, did you want to talk about the other area where we could take a vote?
Are we talking about the chat?
Yeah, so curiosity question before we go that far. How many of you are interested in a chat? I know Tammy loves them. Benny and Vanessa, I'm guessing, might love them as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let's see if Benny has, yes, Benny likes the chat idea, right? Yep, that was it. I don't know that anyone else super participates with that kind of an idea, but okay, so 3 yeses, and Tammy, of course, is another. Let's look at the options we had for that particular vote. And let me get out of that really quickly. I'm going to stop my share and just pull it up as a post. Give me 2 seconds here, everyone. We'll just pop it right in here where we're already working. No, it's not in that area any longer. It is in our material for our classes here, I think. Nope, it must be still in my downloads. Okay, that's why I didn't need to just have you guys having to scroll through all of my stored kind of junk over here to some degree. If I can find it. Oh no, I've known where it was this whole time. And now, of course, that's what happens when you're in these lives. Your brain just freezes. Let me think, where could it possibly be other than maybe in the area that I keep Tammy's class pictures. See, no? Oh no, that's too much of a bummer. Oh, I have that all built out for you, Tammy, and I have the fun little titles that we came up with for your chat. I'm pretty sure I didn't miss it in here. Let me just go back through one more time. I knew I needed to clean up my downloads. No, I'm going to have to find that. I'm not sure.
You message it to me. Is that what you're looking for? The
Yeah,
name?
if you can
Okay.
put it in the chat, that would be perfect. I just
Yeah,
can't.
let me find it. Yeah, let me find it in my text messages.
All right. So Tammy's been wanting a chat for a while, and I cleaned up our contents menu quite a bit over the weekend. So at the top, it still looks mostly the same. Of course, we just changed the title for this particular space tonight. Then you get down into world regions, and I've archived all of our state regions because I don't really have any time to try to populate that material any longer. And Tammy is kind of sporadic with what she does, and she doesn't have the time for it either. So I archived the states, and anything like that can absolutely go into wild news around the world, right? And I didn't delete it. I have it archived so that I can pull it out and take that material and move it into there or whatever. I just wanted to clean it up. And I also don't really have time to maintain the different YouTube channels that we had featured in Nature's Spotlight. However, as we talked about last night, and I forgot to record, we are going to switch what we're doing on Yarn Yard for Tall Tales and really work on, and I'm going to get that image from Tammy while we're talking, really work on the material that goes into this Gardenary certification that I'm doing and the material that's already online as well for free for anyone from Gardenary, because it strengthens what we're doing as far as modified traditional gardening, right? And so, all right, I think that should be in my regular, but let me just share it also to my messenger where I know I can get it. And we're going to be reading a lot of material from Gardenary on the Yarn Yard for Tall Tales. And so that's going to be, I think, really useful because she really tries to simplify it. And it's just very positive interaction and pleasant, user-friendly, and I'm still not sharing, am I? Okay, so while I'm doing that, let me grab the link from Facebook because Facebook's put such horrible things up in those story areas these days. Oh my gosh, I don't even want to share that. And let me grab that from my messenger there. All right, that took way too long, but now let's get that. And it's right here for us as well. That'll disappear eventually, I think. Let me just click the image. There we go. All right. So name our new chat space. And oh my goodness, Tammy wanted to do this. I don't know even how long ago, probably at least 2 months or more. And then she kind of forgot about it for a while, but she brought it up again the other day and I'd already created this. Oh, September 20th. There you go. So yes, about a month and a half ago. And name our new chat space. You have Common Ground, Community Corner, the Campfire Circle, and Village Green. And I don't think we got much or maybe any participation when we put it up as a post. So what do you guys all like? Let's just go in like a list here. So Miss Tammy, as the originator, let's wait for you, all right? Let's start with Benny, if you'll put your choice in the chat. And then Jay, are you there where you can answer what you like the best? of those 4 options?
Yeah, I'm looking at them. I like common ground.
All right, so we'll put J down as an A. Thank you. And then Miss Candace, how about for yourself? And we'll ask her to unmute. I know sometimes she's busy doing other things and she can't talk either.
He
So
says campfire. It says it in
campfire.
the chat. Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, and then what about Benny? Has Benny gotten his in there?
No, I haven't seen Benny's yet, but I see
Okay.
Tendez
And so that'll
there.
be
Oh, Benny's up. We're doing the campfire, you guys. We're gonna cook some
all
s'mores
right.
here pretty soon.
And then Kendez, how about for yourself?
Campfire circle.
All right. And Vanessa.
I'm conflicted.
Which are your 2 top? Or what do you like? I should say, maybe you have more than 2 top.
I like the campfire circle and the community corner, so I'm not sure yet. Let me think on it a little more. Campfire, I guess, sounds good.
All right, you got it. She's bowing to peer pressure, guys. No, I'm just teasing you, Vanessa. All right, so now, Miss Tammy, let's hear what your preference was.
So no. Campfire, you guys. Sorry. I love campfires.
Well, I think you're as outvoted as Benny was over the title there, Jay. Looks like Campfire Circle it is. All right, really cute titles. They're a lot of fun, and I really think that it's neat to get to put together little areas for our community because we have so much fun imagery that we can pull from as a agricultural outdoor type of the overall theme, right? It really opens up some fun imagery in our naming and in the imagery that Julia puts in, actual images, not just the imagery that we have in our heads to create these spaces, but the actual pictures that she's got going for us. They're just so beautiful, or banners, I guess I should say, and some of those different pieces. So yeah, definitely a lot of fun. And so what do you guys think about minimizing the areas here in Collectively Rewilding? Does it upset anyone? It feels like we just didn't use those spaces. I'm not even sure if you would be upset that they're gone, Miss Tammy.
Honestly, I'm everywhere, so
So do you miss
yeah,
having
it doesn't
all of
really
the
bother
space
me.
and stuff? Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't really bother me because like sometimes I'll post California things that might be relevant to the Pacific Coast or whatever.
So just
But yeah,
hashtag California or hashtag Minnesota or hashtag Georgia or whatever.
yeah, that's what I do when it's like really pertaining to my state, that's
Mhm.
when I do it, when I do the hashtag. But sometimes I'm just don't know like if it's California and I have California resources, but it's not really, anybody can use it. So that's when I kind of put it in the member, the member meetup area.
Well, and you also have wild news around the world.
Yeah, that one's good too. Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm pretty much everywhere.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
but it
know.
doesn't bother
Everywhere,
me.
all over.
Yeah, in my brain.
That's wonderful. All right, very neat. I think those were the main things that I wanted to cover. I did wonder today, Kendez, how your cucumbers were doing.
Well, I got about 4 or 5 cucumbers. They've just been chilling in the cold. I guess the chillness has kept them preserved, and it's been raining a lot lately. So I'm gonna
But
see
they're
if they
still getting sunlight. And what's the coldest that it usually gets there right now?
usually cold in the morning. It's probably like high 60s.
Oh, yeah, they don't even mind that at all.
I do.
Oh, you poor baby. Oh my goodness, it's already 60 here now at 8. So imagine what it'll be like at 5:30 my time, right? Oh, that's funny.
I brought,
Go ahead.
I brought all the aloe veras inside because
Mm,
I didn't want to mess up and it had a frost overnight or something.
yeah, especially with them having been transplanted and things recently, right?
They all turned back green though, which is
That's
good.
wonderful. That's wonderful. And how about, speaking of aloe vera, how are all of your plants doing, Tammy? And is it getting cold enough there where you have to worry about covering them at night or anything like that?
Yeah, they're resilient. They have been through the stormest of the storms. No, I don't mess with them. I just let them chill, you know.
What about the new ones that you got, like the flowering plants and things like that? Are you gonna
Um, my rock garden is doing real good. That's like my marigolds and you know, it looks different
Sorry.
from.
Did you get some mango in my tea?
I'm sorry. I put mango accidentally in my husband's tea by accident. But no, like when I see at the photos, like my husband will like I don't go out there when it's cold, so he'll take photos and I'm like, oh, there I only see a couple, right? And then when I go out there, like when I was doing my live, I was like, oh my God, that is so beautiful. It looks so much different in person,
It does.
you
It
know?
really
So
does. I wish
yeah,
I
it
could take
does.
you guys through a tour of my backyard where you're having to like part the sunflowers to walk through it, you know?
Yeah. And I'm
Hmm.
like, oh, you see the little white flower, but like to me it looks really big, you know, they're trying to like to zoom in. I got like this selfie stick, Sabrina. So it's like a
Hmm.
selfie like stick slash stand stick thing that's like a
Amber got
screen.
one of those as well.
Yeah, it was like $7. So we
Nice.
figured out like you know, I was telling Daryl, I was like, you know, that it's a stand, dude. Like they just didn't give me this freaking clip, you know, to put it like to you know, like as a stand. I'm like, no, Daryl, like it has to come out on the bottom. And he's like, oh, look at this, Tammy. It actually extends out. I'm like, yeah, I know, man. That's why I got it, you know.
I'm sorry, but I looked at the instructions and like the most basic instructions did not say anything about that.
Yeah. So I saw this site. I was like, hey, Daryl, look it.
Yeah,
It
but
shows you.
you know, it's the kind of instructions like you could tell like whoever wrote the instructions didn't type it in English or whatever. So it's just
And it's like a booklet long, and it like you just seen the photos. I'm like, I knew it extended out. So yeah, when I was on my live, I kind of put it like in on my wheelchair thing, which is really cool. But like, uh, yeah, it doesn't really work when I'm like driving around because the thing was just it's just difficult. Like for someone like my husband, he can hold it and you know use it how it's designed, you know. But it's pretty cool when I'm like staying still, you know. When I'm outside gardening, I can just put it on the stand and have my phone, you know, do like the good stuff, you know, while I'm sitting down, but pretty cool.
oh yeah, when I looked at the diagram, it looked like you had to detach the end of it to do the tripod thing. And it has a little thing you can flip out, so you have a phone stand.
Yeah, it's like a phone.
I
It's
always
like,
have to have
But the
Jay get it
tripod is
out with
built
my big
into the
tripod.
handle.
He always
yeah,
has to do
It's
it for
really cool,
me.
actually.
It was
yeah.
my
So it's
uncle's,
really
right?
easy. It's just one stick. Like literally, you push a button and then it's like an umbrella or something like that's what it's like Mary Poppins or something like on my
That's fun.
wheelchair. But
Amber
other
has
than
one
that,
that has little wheels.
yeah, this was just like a $7 cheapo. Like I thought it looked cool in the picture, and then when I got it, I was like, what? This is what it looks
It's
like.
only $7.
It was only $7, so it's pretty cool, like pretty, you know, hand dandy, you know, when I'm out and about outside. But I haven't put my tent together yet, so I'm
It's pretty well built for
Yeah.
$7.
still cleaning the yard, Sabrina. That is just like
You have a big
we're having
yard.
some.
That's a lot to do, you know?
Oh my God, it's like yesterday I passed out like early, like the time change is like really messing with my brain.
Oh,
So I
really? I
woke
love this time change.
Oh man. So like my husband's alarm went off like at 10 o'clock or something. And I'm like, oh my God, I missed Sabrina's class. I'm like, why am I listening to Linkin Park at 10 o'clock at night? And he's like, oh, that's my alarm clock. I'm like, who sets an alarm clock at 10:30 when I'm sleeping?
It's a little different. Yeah. Yeah, I've got to
Yeah.
agree, right?
Crazy
Even for
part is
somebody
it came
that
with
works
the
like a
spare
night shift.
battery.
It's
Yeah.
To
So
check it out, the spare battery it comes with, it'd probably be more expensive to buy than the actual stick itself.
yeah, so it connects
That's
to your
just what-
phone as well. So you could push the button and automate it through that as well. So it's pretty cool. But other than that, just experiencing that was pretty chill. And then doing the tent thing will probably be like in a week or two. And just cleaning the yard right now is like the main thing. Getting all the junk. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's that. That's the story of my life, you guys, right now, is just cleaning the yard to prepare myself for the upcoming January, February, March, and the upcoming months for sure.
Right? But
Mhm.
that's awesome though that you're getting that prepared. And then what about you, Miss Vanessa? How are your plants doing? Did you move them inside?
Yes, I got my two fruit plants, the peppers and the bell peppers inside. I've got two trees, but I put them on the porch because they're
Mhm.
big. Well, not too
Mhm.
big, but
And you've never mentioned the trees. How are your trees doing and what kind of trees are they?
I don't remember. I think
Oh goodness.
one's a pear, and I forgot what the other one is. But they're doing okay with that one. I had to trim it because it was dying.
Mm.
Hadn't watered it for a long time and it died, but there's still like one green part of it. So I cut off all the dead part and they're still outside. I brought them in last year.
Mhm. But
It's
they're getting too big.
well, they're still in the same pots, the medium-sized pots that I have them in. So I can probably bring them in. It's just I didn't I need to get another like I put them on like the shoe where you put your shoes, like one of those little covers. So when I water them, the water won't get everywhere. I need to get one more of those so I can put them on top of that. Or so when I water them, the water won't go everywhere. It stays in that little like shoe, whatever it is.
You'll have to share pictures with us so we can see what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'll do that.
And then I'm guessing, oh wait, we already talked about that. Anita had said that all of her stuff was pretty well dying off. And so I'm guessing the last few things have faded out, Mom?
I think
And
your mom left.
oh,
I
did
should-
she? They
yeah,
were
so they should
working,
go
it
early.
sounded like. They have an electrician's business, right? And so it sounded like they were maybe working tonight. So, but I'm pretty sure they've all died. It's gotten quite a bit colder down in Southwest Colorado than it's been up here in mid to northern Utah, right? Which is weird, but that's the way deserts work. They can get quite cold. And it's really interesting how different they can be. When I lived in Nevada in the desert, it could get really, really cold there, even somewhat cold in the summer. Not really, really cold, no, but somewhat cold in the nighttime in Las Vegas. Whereas I visited Phoenix all of my life, right? It's the closest, biggest city to my hometown. And especially when I was a child, it was kind of the place to go to do any shopping or anything like that. And so I have family that lives there, and I've spent a lot of time in the Phoenix area and the suburbs there. It doesn't get cool like that. It stays hot. And that's why they don't follow the daylight savings so often in the Arizona cities around that Phoenix area, at least for sure. Many of those cities, they don't change. They stay the same year round. And they want their morning time because it's really hot in the evening. And so they like to get up early and experience that morning weather. And so it's really interesting how different very close deserts are, right? Nevada and Arizona, they're about, I think they might even touch right up there on that northwestern most corner of Arizona and part of that flat area there of Nevada, right? But they're about a state away, really, for the majority of it. And they have such different deserts. And then you come over here to Utah, which is relatively on par with a lot of Nevada. And you have an entirely different type of high desert, which is also what you have in Southwest Colorado is high desert, right? So deserts have a lot of variance. And then California deserts that Tamia is in are completely different. Nevada is like the barrier, right? Nevada has elements that are quite a lot like New Mexico and to some degree like some of Arizona, though really I see more similarities between New Mexico and Nevada. And then you go out of Nevada into California and it's very different style of desert with a coastal influence. and everything. So something that I'm sure comparable in the Southeast region, right? We think, oh, humid, water, but I am guessing that between Alabama to Georgia to Florida and the eastern side of Texas and things like that, Louisiana, where Ethel is, that there is a big variance in how it looks to be in more humid, warmer climates, right? And that's something that Nicole Burke of Gardenary talks about. She says that she doesn't think that growing zones are really all that useful, because she's had clients that might be in the same growing zone, but they're, several hundred or more miles apart, even in the same type of region, but that much distance between them, and it had completely different criteria for what was more and less successful at different times of the year. So they were in the same growing zone. And so she talks about how paying more attention to your plants in general, and especially to that setup, right? And we've started talking about that, the setup. And so we will be adding some really neat elements into our garden here in the next month. We've already got some of the pieces coming. We needed to make a few more decisions, and then we're going to order the wood for it. And our next door neighbor, Bart, he's one of those essential employees that isn't getting paid, and some extra money going his way would be very helpful. And he's very handy. I mean, oh my goodness, you guys, I have to take you on a tour before the weather comes in of what he's done with his little train set that he's building outside in his backyard. Maybe I could do that with you guys next Monday. He is off on Mondays, and perhaps we could do that for fun, just extra class, and show you what he's done. He's got fountains, and the neatest thing is I get to plan the majority of all the plants and things that are going to go in there around all of what he's doing for this train set. And he's got a huge reflecting pond, and he's going to have fountains, so there can be watercress and perhaps some other different, maybe some lilies, or not, water lilies, but lily pads, perhaps even in the spring and summer. I've never gotten to play with water plants like that at all, and I'm really excited. So we'll definitely have to do a little tour before it gets too cold. And then if he gets it far enough along, he wants to have murals that are like the Polar Express. And so we'll do another little tour of it as it's getting close to the holiday season. If he is, I can't believe how much he's already gotten done. I wouldn't be surprised if we get to have that tour. It's pretty neat, you guys, pretty neat stuff. All right, so is there anything else that, I was just going to show you guys one more time what we're going to do overall and why we're changing it, right? So we have the garden planner, and I have all of the different months printed up so that I could really look at it and start shifting things around, breaking each month up into 4-week segments, right? So we'll have January week 1, week 2, week 3, and maybe even an occasional week 5. So depending on the layout of the month, right? And I came up with a list of all the sections that I still have yet to get filled out. And then one of the things, as we're that inner group who are testing this, right? We're going to test it out here, see if it's too much, too little, things are in the wrong time of the year, etc. One of the things I'd like you to keep in mind is that, again, I think that perhaps Nicole Burke threw up that video about how to do a quick homemade garden planner as a contrast to what we're doing here as Collectively Rewilding. And I don't mind critique, whether it had anything to do with me or not. I'm going to look at it in a little bit of a critical eye already and have that in the back of my head to support that critical eye of where we need to cut. Because as I've talked to you guys about already, several of the months are simply too long. And I want to get that balanced out and remove redundant material, get it streamlined for each different section, and just keep finalizing it until we release it here internally January 1st. And then we'll do all of that again together as a group, putting all of this into practice in our own gardens and see how it works out. And we'll fine tune it together. And then we'll have something brand new to work through in 2027, right? Giving Tammy plenty of time to get really calm, really confident, really have a handle on her food preservation material. And then, of course, doing the garden certification that she's doing, her master garden certification alongside the gardenary certification that I'm doing will be great support for everything that we're going to do here as 2026 and 2027, right? Tons of fun. I'm really excited about getting this all together for us all and getting your feedback on what you think is doable as we're breaking it up into the weeks, right? So really put on that critical eye. I am not scared of criticism. I love seeing what other people do and don't like, and whether it's too much or it didn't quite have the information that you really needed, etc. I want to hear all of that as we go through it. And so please feel free to tell me things, even if you think that it's kind of a negative comment that you're making. If it's what you experienced, I definitely will want to know, right? All right, everybody. Any questions about that or thoughts?
I put the picture of that, of the little thing in the chat. Of my,
okay.
the underneath,
Check it out.
what I'm talking about, that little tray, whatever it is. Shoe, it's a shoe thing for your shoes.
Oh, okay. I've seen things like that as well for like dog food is what I actually think of when I see things like this. But yes, you're right. I bet you they have a ton of them for shoes as well. And can you guys see that, right? It's still showing you my screen where I've pulled up Vanessa's picture. Does it not show?
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's nice. And that pepper has gorgeous color. It looks like your plants are actually doing really well now that you've moved them in. Do you feel like they're improving, Miss Vanessa?
Yeah, I have 3 peppers, but see how small they are? They're not getting any bigger.
And that's because your plant has struggled really hard through the whole growing season. If you keep it alive and manage to get it to, like you might pick all of these peppers and see if you can't get it to start flowering again. But I'd wait until it looks really nice and healthy, right? That would be something that you could definitely give a try to.
All right.
See how it's still got the holes and the yellowed leaves and things over
Yeah.
on. So as those, kind of fall away and you see the nicer growth, like you pretty much see more on your hot pepper plant, right? Then you can pick those, and I would still just give your hot pepper plant another day or two. It looks like you still have one kind of rough leaf there that needs to fall away, and just wait a minute. But then you could probably go ahead and pick that hot pepper plant to use and see if that will force flowering again on your plants.
All right.
Very neat. Very neat. Thank you for sharing that, my dear. And so, any thoughts, guys, on the transition, hopes, critiques, excitement?
I'm
All
so
right.
excited. I just can't hide it.
Oh, goodness. Not a hint of sarcasm there at all. Well, I'm really excited, guys. I think it's I like lists. I like something that I can think, what am I going to do this week? What can I do right now? I don't have anything I need to do, but I'm tired. I just need to have a list ready to go. Those are moments that are really helpful to me. Do any of you have that kind of feeling inside yourselves or pattern that you follow?
Being
Okay, go ahead, Kendall.
it's a pattern of being excited.
In your garden, I don't know what you mean exactly. Like each of these weeks will have basically, and in fact, that's something that I should probably just incorporate, is a checklist for each week Let me see if I have another list. Okay, yeah. Checklist for each garden week class, right? And so then you can just go into the material that will be for January, week 3, and you click that, and you have that list right at the top of all the action items that you can take, and then you have the more detailed description down below it, just week to week, what you could work on right now in your garden.
What? That sounds awesome.
Right? That's why I'm really excited about this. I see so much potential here to really help us to feel in control of what we're doing and to have ways to look at it that will help us to measure our successes and our failures so that we can turn those into more successes, right? All of those different kinds of things. I'm really, really excited about it. So let's hope that it works out as well as I think it will. And I will be constantly working on it. Like I said, I have this all printed up. And if you see, if you can tell, as it gets towards the back, they're so light. There's nothing to it from like June on. Maybe even there's just barely anything in even May. So the majority of that is in the first 4 or 5 months worth of the year. And that can easily get spread out, as well as those months I haven't fleshed out some of the material. So definitely, guys, peek in here anytime, whether you want to look at January to see and get a head start, or you want to just look at the overall thing and see where each month is going. If you have any ideas, suggestions, like I said, criticisms, please let me know. I'm really wanting this to be something that works for as many of us in as many ways as possible, to not feel overwhelmed, but to have the tools that we need to have our best gardening year every year, right? Because each year we can increase upon that, and these tools will still be here to support us each year, and can be added onto or modified as the years go by to become an ever better support network for each of us and everyone that's utilizing this system in their gardens. All right. Go ahead, Kenta.
Gardening your website and doing planting your seeds.
Definitely, right? There's so many different ways that you can play with the words for a community like this. I love it. It makes it so much fun to engage with, I think. And that's really what I want this to be. I want it to be something that people enjoy learning a new skill or implementing a new protocol in their garden or putting in a new plant or trying a new thing when they're out camping, right? All of those different pieces. And I think that yes, it's not for children, right? Children can definitely participate. They can even have an account. There's nothing inappropriate about that. But this is about people really going out and making a difference for themselves and however much of the community and region and world that they want to, with a community that supports them on an ever more broadened and deepened interaction with our natural environment and with our communities, both online and off, right? Let's jump into our calendar and look for an all new picture next week to match the Plan Your Wild workshop, as well as a new space for Miss Tammy. She will be your host in that space. I cannot keep up with the chats. I've tried for years, and Lesko help too, our other community, and it just is very rapid paced. So that will absolutely be Miss Tammy's area, proudly supported by Benny and Vanessa, right? We'll let them just go to and play. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see some new people that we haven't engaged with before popping in and starting to play in that chat as well. So 2 new areas to kind of play in. One, a redo, well, how shall we put this? Remodeled, and one, a brand new space. And I have already shifted our garden Q&A to garden. Oh, and it still says gardens planning. I swear I corrected that. Let me refresh it and see if it corrects it. Otherwise, I just got to get it changed again. Let's just change that right now so I don't even forget, because it obviously should not be gardens. jump up here, garden planning Q&A, and let's try saving it again. Oh, you know what? My internet could have shut off on me, and I thought that I changed it or something, and it didn't fix it. I bet you that is what happened. It shut off and on all weekend long. Nothing yet today, so here's hoping. And that will shift into that garden planning instead of gardens and more Q&A. New imagery for it with our new colors that we've added here in the community. Really brightens it up, I think. So lots of fun, minor changes to really increase the effectiveness of what we're doing, and also open up an entirely new avenue of communication for all of the people here in Collectively Rewilding. And let's hope that that chat really brings some people out of the woodwork, as it has tended to do for any other community that I've ever participated in, right? So great idea, Miss Tammy. Glad that that was a space that you wanted to see happen. All right, everybody, I did have to postpone tomorrow's class, the Let's Quit Together, until Saturday because I have to take a trip to the dentist. Yay for me. I would much rather be in class with you all, I promise. But I will be back with you on Wednesday, and that is Wednesday, November 5th for How To's Community Outreach. And that will be at 1:45 p.m. Pacific, 2:45 p.m. Mountain, 3:45 p.m. Central, and 4:45 p.m. Eastern. Hope you are all able to join, and please feel free to unmute everyone and say good night.
Good night. I'll see you guys
Good night.
tomorrow. I'll see you in the next class. Good night, Benny. Good night, Vanessa. Toodles.
Hope to see you all tomorrow.